We've got some major breaking news. It's been the craziest era in WWE programming history, but we have some good news in the middle of all this bad news. Now, I'll start with sort of the bad news for mainly Becky Lynch fans. She's going to be going away for a while. She confirmed on Monday Night Raw. She will be gone for a while, and she could no longer be the Raw Women's Champion. The good news is, if you're an Asuka fan, Asuka's now the Raw Women's Champion because Becky Lynch confirmed that she decided behind everybody's back to raise the stakes. And in that briefcase was not a contract for the Raw Women's title shot, but the Raw Women's World title itself. And then afterwards, she confirmed that she is going away for a while because she is going to be a mother. It was a beautiful moment, a beautiful promo, very wacky. So here's how it all started. Becky came out and it was visibly emotional and talked about how she spent her time in the Performance Center, came here in 2013 from Ireland, didn't know anybody, didn't know if people were going to like her puns and her tea references, and it turns out a lot of fans did. She said that the fans supported her when she was down and out, when she was injured. They rallied behind her, and she is so thankful for them, but she's going to have to go away for a while. She can no longer be a fighting champion. She didn't call it Asuka. She talked about raising the stakes and the Money in the Bank briefcase. She actually came out with the briefcase. And then Asuka came out, and Becky said, I'm not going to be able to fight right now, but you can. And I raised the stakes. So she did a whole combination, a little locker code with the briefcase, opened it up, gave Asuka the Raw Women's title. And in the middle of this real emotional moment, Asuka just goes crazy and goes, I'm the champion! I'm the champion! And starts dancing and celebrating and jumping up and down. It was hilarious. It was hilarious. And she's jumping up and down. I mean, she was celebrating, it seemed like for an eternity. And while she's great and all, it's kind of weird that this happened in the middle of an emotional announcement. So finally, Becky says, you're happy right now, but I think I have some good news too. And I'm going to be a mother. And all of a sudden, Asuka snaps out of character for a little bit. And she goes, you're going to be a mother? I'm going to be a mother. They both hug. They embrace. They cry. This is a beautiful moment right here. Becky Lynch celebrated. Her music played. Visibly emotional. It was bitter. She said it was bittersweet. So such a beautiful moment. And then afterwards, Asuka's music played. And Asuka was celebrating. And by the way, Becky Lynch did put over Asuka huge. She did call her not just the best women's wrestler in the world, the best wrestler in the world, and she deserved this. And if we're remembering this correctly, I believe Asuka is one of the last women to ever beat Becky Lynch in a one-on-one match. I think Mandy Rose may have beat her in like some fluke or so. Actually, no. Mandy Rose was the last woman that beat her a couple years ago in some fluky pinfall on TV. But on pay-per-view, if I'm not mistaken, I think the last time Becky Lynch lost fair and square in a one-on-one singles match on pay-per-view was against Asuka. So that just goes to show you how well Asuka has been protected. And this is just a beautiful moment. I mean, one, you have the real-life stuff with Becky Lynch and pregnancy, and presumably Seth Rollins is the father. She's engaged to him. And congrats to both of them. Seth had a great match himself at Money in the Bank with Drew McIntyre. But then the jubilation I had as an Asuka fan to have Asuka finally capture the Raw Women's Championship as she goes on eventually to have a Hall of Fame career. I mean, she's already had a Hall of Fame career. I mean, a Hall of Fame induction. I mean, think about it. Women's Tag Team titles, Women's Royal Rumble, SmackDown Women's Championship, a legendary NXT run, and now the Raw Women's title. And yes, there's a lot you can say about WWE in the ring, out of the ring, behind the scenes in regards to this whole coronavirus era that they're in right now. But there have been some amazingly pleasant surprises. One that really shouldn't have been a surprise is the greatness of Asuka continuing to rise to the top. She's given crap. She loses matches she's not supposed to lose. She gets thrown to the wayside, and she keeps rising back up. Very similar to Becky Lynch. So this was an awesome, genuine, beautiful moment for this wrestling fan, and I think a lot of wrestling fans watching here. So on one hand, some people may say, well, why not have Asuka attack Becky from behind, or do something backstage, or Asuka pins her backstage, or some kind of physicality, or do something where they do a tournament. I mean, that kind of makes sense too, but the reality is Asuka did just go through the wackiest, grueling Money in the Bank ladder match of all time. She did jump off a freaking balcony. So you know what? As far as I'm concerned, she earned this Raw Women's title. And I think what's curious about this is that it was Asuka that won. And while I am very happy for Asuka, while I think she is phenomenal, one of the best workers, not just in WWE, but in the world today, this begs the question, what's next for Shayna Baszler? Does this mean that Vince McMahon has given up on Shayna Baszler? Does this mean that Shayna Baszler's time as a top star in the women's division is over? Or is it just beginning? Is this going to be a transitional run for Asuka? Could they do something where they break up the Kabuki Warriors and Kairi and Asuka feud? Or is this going to lead to Asuka having another dominant run until Becky eventually gets back within a year and a half or so? I don't really know, but what a historic run for Becky Lynch. Top star, undoubtedly a true main eventer, made an acting appearance on Billions, tons of media appearances. I know the video game sucked, but it's still pretty damn cool for Becky Lynch to be enshrined on a video game cover alongside Roman Reigns. That's badass for sure. Just unbelievable. Unbelievable. So congratulations to Becky Lynch. Congratulations to Seth Rollins. Congrats to Asuka. We'll see if the direction is Asuka versus Shayna Baszler. I would actually have Asuka hold on to the title for a little while, and then come SummerSlam, you put over Shayna Baszler. That's what I would do. Because right now, you're already cut off her momentum. She arguably should have beaten Becky at WrestleMania. She didn't. She arguably should have won the Money in the Bank based on who needed to win the most. She didn't. So, as far as I'm concerned, give Asuka some time with the title, and then eventually give it to Shayna Baszler. But we'll see what happens, folks. But congrats to all involved. Thank you all for the support. Just want to shout out the people on the live stream right here. Devon May, King Day, Rasquan, JJ Richardson, Rico M, Luda Shuda Effin. That's a cool name. Jonathan Guzman. If y'all enjoyed this update, please click that like button. Please be sure to subscribe and click that bell to enable notifications, because we'll be updating you all throughout the week, not just about WWE, but UFC's back up and running for now. We'll see how long that lasts. So we will keep you posted. Until then, thank you so much. Congrats again to Becky, to Asuka, to Seth Rollins. And until next time, everybody, as always, enjoy the matches. And Becky, have fun being a mom.